Welcome to Timeless Takeover, your no BS guide to lasting anti-aging and longevity solutions. Hosted by Marissa.Method, founder of Timeless Skin and Wellness, this is your exclusive source for honest anti-aging solutions and elevated wellness. We offer a full-scope approach to beauty and vitality because at Timeless, we believe aging is optional. Serving discerning clients across Denver Metro and Northern Colorado, your transformation begins here.
From sluggish mornings to renewed vitality, detox cleanses can help the body hit refresh. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Julie Schwenzer, co-host and producer, in the studio with Marissa.Method, the founder of Timeless Skin and Wellness. Marissa, how is everything going right now?
Hi, Julie. I'm great. Christmas week, so just a couple more days of work, and I'm ready for the holiday. How are you?
Yes. I'm not ready, but I'm with you, and I'm excited for a fun holiday. That's for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
So we appreciate you joining us again. And in our last episode, you did mention a lot of great details about detoxing. So we're going to continue that conversation and ask you, how does detoxing help the body reset and elevate energy levels?
Oh, this is such a great question and one of my favorite things to talk about. I have become very passionate about detoxing the system and what I like to call living a detoxed lifestyle. And that is because I struggled with so many things in my teens and 20s. What started with acne led to hormone issues and bloat and digestive issues and medication recommendations from different doctors. And I was on a few different medications that were helping with the acne, but causing other issues. So through my experience of dealing with an imbalanced system that was coming out in my skin, in my gut, in rosacea, in eczema, all kinds of skin conditions and just issues that I look back now and realize were secondary to a system full of toxins that needed to be detoxed and just inflammation that could have been controlled way before I started to take control of my own health and finally educated myself on what it means to detox the system. So again, I've preached about how we are just deprived of all this information when it comes to detoxing our system and when it comes to how our body operates. And no matter what you're dealing with, especially if there has been a diagnosis, the number one thing is to detox the system. And what does that mean? That means literally taking all of the toxins out of the system, often putting in herbs and good things. Like I always think about like ritual tea drinking, we all know that tea has been around for thousands of years, and there's a lot of ritual behind drinking tea in a lot of cultures. And what is tea? It should be just herbs that you're picking outside. And what do these herbs do? They help detox our system. So something as little as drinking a detox tea on a daily basis is going to help detox our system. So imagine elevating that to a higher level and whatever level works with your lifestyle and what you're trying to accomplish. But our bodies our detox systems in general. We all use the bathroom. We all blow our nose. We all clean our ears. We all have stuff that comes out of our tear ducts. Our body is detoxing all the time. And what we don't practice as a culture is a full detox that resets the system. So think about some cultures where they don't eat for 24 hours, or some cultures where they don't eat for several days and only consume water, or, again, things that we don't practice as Americans, but taking everything out of the system, fasting, adding in herbs that are going to cleanse the colon, cleanse the system, cleanse the gut, cleanse the gallbladder, that is going to literally flush the body of all the toxins and reset the whole system. If you have a body that does not have toxins in your body, you're going to feel so much better. For myself, I really try to stay away from hydrogenated oils, a huge toxic ingredient in a lot of our food supply, excess caffeine and alcohol, and processed sugar. Those are the things we need to stay away from. We can talk about dyes and other things all day, but you're not going to find something with the main three: processed sugar, white flour, hydrogenated oils. That, if you find something that has the other ingredients like the dyes, it's going to have one of the other three. It often is going to have all three. It's often going to have processed sugar, white flour, hydrogenated oils, and then they make it beautiful with this bright fluorescent food dye that just adds another toxic ingredient that doesn't even add flavor or anything. So this whole mindset of like, oh, pick your poison. Yes, absolutely. I have been eating way too much sugar. I gave up alcohol this year, and I just have been eating way too much sugar this season. And the number one thing that I notice is it's affecting how I feel in recovery. It's affecting how I feel when I work out, my knees, my ankles, my wrists. I've had issues with my wrists for a very long time. And when I'm eating too much sugar, it is affecting my body's ability to detox, to feel great. So come the new year, I am going to really lean into getting all the processed sugar out of my system and just elevate my January to, a higher detox level than what I've been doing. Because again, I always am trying to avoid the things that I know are toxic, and everything in moderation. You really have to look at that from a perspective of, if you go eat a toxic ice cream treat, say Dairy Queen, it's going to have 30, 40 ingredients, maybe more. It's not like making your own ice cream that has 3 ingredients. And that is a serious treat. It's going to take your body a lot of time to detox all those ingredients, So having coffee creamer in the morning every day, that's a toxic coffee creamer with sugar and several ingredients and often seed oils in your coffee creamer, that is not moderation. Having a Starbucks every morning that has 40 grams of sugar is not moderation. Having a soda every single day that has 40 grams of sugar is not moderation. Moderation in optimizing our body's ability to detox and perform optimally is taking everything out consistently and then really leaning in really hard, at least a couple weeks out of every quarter, and doing a full reset. And your body can't reset and feel great without getting all of that stuff out. So that is something I'm very passionate about. I preach that all the time. People will come and see me as an esthetician when their skin is wreaking havoc. And that is not the time to touch somebody's skin. We can put a little chemical peel on it. We can get some of the inflammation down. We can do an IPL to make rosacea subside a little bit. But the real way to optimize how you look and how you feel, is to get all those toxins out and then work with a practitioner that can help you supplement with vitamins and herbs that your body needs to cure on a deeper level.
And when clients come in and ask you for help with detoxing, what's an example of a plan of action that you have for clients recently that is something they can do with you, in the office, and then they can also carry out actions at home and stick with a plan and then be accountable and then talk to you about it next time they see you?
Yeah, so I am very, very passionate about providing the information that we have not gotten from, really the school system. We should be teaching our kids this in preschool. I have a packet. It's on my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram link, there are a few links. I think on the bottom link is a document that is called Detox, a Lifestyle. That is a very, very thorough document that talks about how to detox your household from mostly foods and like household cleaners and things like that. And there's documents about just how to become a little more aware of the toxins that we're exposed to that we're unaware of. That is something that I come across all the time. The biggest challenge are my clients who think they're doing all the right things. And then I come in and say, you're really doing none of the right things, because you think you're buying non-toxic cleaner. You think you're buying non-toxic perfume. You think you're buying non-toxic toothpaste. You think you're buying non-toxic food. And what did we just outline? Your entire day of toxin. So unfortunately, again, the FDA and the food system does not advocate for us as individuals to be able to look at a label and see what we see as propaganda. We do not see the truth, So unfortunately, we see something that is natural flavors or low fat, and we're like, oh, this is a healthy alternative. But we've not been taught to look at a label and see all the labels. So I have that packet of information that is really, really great information. I tell everybody, download that document and keep it forever. There is a list of safe brands in there. There are places where you can get bread and pies and cookies and cakes and meat and chips. And one of the biggest things that I want to preach is making people aware that living a detox lifestyle and taking control of your health and what you put in your body and in your kid's body does not mean you're taking all the fun stuff out. It just means that you're not shopping in certain aisles of the grocery store, and maybe you're ordering more things on a subscription model because it's going to be healthy for your household. Bread is a great example for that. So number one, education, education, education. You can do all the detoxes in the world, but if you're going home, and alcohol is the best example because everybody knows alcohol is toxic. If you're going home and drinking a half a bottle of alcohol every single day, everybody knows that's going to lead to some very negative side effects, and then eventually cirrhosis of the liver, and your body just can't sustain it anymore. So if you think of it from that perspective, there are things that we're putting in our system on a daily basis that are just as toxic as drinking a bottle of alcohol on a daily basis. And then we have this acne and all this inflammation that we're like, well, I'm doing all the right things, and the doctor has me on this medication, and I'm not eating gluten, and I'm not eating dairy, and I'm not eating iodized salt, but you're still eating things you shouldn't be eating. Non-foods is what I call them. You can't eat a label that has 3 ingredients of food and then 30 ingredients of non-foods. You put it in your system, and your body has 3 ingredients of energy to detox all of these non-foods, and then we're over consuming toxins. So number one thing, education, being aware of what you're putting in your food, in your system on a daily basis. Again, I eat fast food a couple times a year, and I enjoy every minute of it, but I wouldn't do that on a daily basis. Can I eat a cheeseburger at home that I make for my family? Absolutely. I'm going to have 0 side effects. It's going to be made with sourdough bread. It's going to be made with organic ketchup. It's going to be made with non-toxic organic beef. You go to McDonald's, it's going to be, what do they say, like 120 ingredients you're consuming with a McDonald's meal. So we really need to understand this. A cheeseburger made at home is made of food. Obviously, most of us should not be eating McDonald's on a regular basis, but even like a lean cuisine or something packaged at the store that looks like it's healthy, a sandwich at Whole Foods, the fresh baked bread at Whole Foods, the whole salad bar at Whole Foods, like hydrogenated oils, processed ingredients in their bread. I'm like, why are there 50 ingredients in the bread? It's not Whole Foods, it's whole bullshit is what it is. And we really need to start understanding this. The food supply is huge. We should not be consuming fast foods. Okay, second course of action is to add in the appropriate supplements. And that is another huge missing piece, is supplementing the things that our body is craving. The biggest missing piece of the medical system is supplementing vitamins and minerals and nutrients and herbs. And when it comes to detoxing, it's really about putting in the proper herbs. So I work very closely with a dear friend of mine, Dr. Diana Drake. She is a naturopath that specializes in hormone imbalances and detoxing the system. Skin Naturopathics is a supplement line that supports skin health. So she has protocols for rosacea, psoriasis, acne, and most acne is all about detoxing the system. So when it comes to supporting the body internally with supplements, we use Skin Naturopathics, and she has a product called the Derma Detox that is probably our number one selling product. She also has a product called Hormonal Breakouts. That is a product that's specifically for women struggling with PCOS. And what do you often get secondary to PCOS? Hormonal acne. So working with her has really changed my practice from a perspective of not just treating clients topically with skincare and being able to help them in my specialty, which is detoxing the system, and then adding in these protocols that aren't necessarily a one size fits all. But what she's done is she really understands what causes rosacea, what causes psoriasis, what imbalance in the system is creating this signal to tell us, hey, something's wrong. And what do? We go to a doctor and we put medicine on it when our body is giving us a signal to tell us something is wrong in our system. I don't want medication. I want the proper detoxing and supplementation to be able to heal the system. So the protocols are Some are more extensive than others, and it is a lot easier to talk about healing the system than it is to heal the system, because often we're not dealing with somebody who just went through menopause. That might be a lot easier to supplement a very healthy woman, a very healthy system who goes through menopause might just need HRT, a little bit of hormone supplementation, and that's going to fix all of that individual's concerns. But somebody like myself, who at 25 had 3 or 4 different diagnoses, I'm dealing with a system that has been in balance for 25 years. So it took me about 3 years, I would say, to heal my body. I was still very sensitive in my first year of detoxing and understanding what I was sensitive to. And now I'm like, I'm not sensitive to anything other than toxins. I can eat whatever I want as long as it is a whole food form and it's not compromised ingredients, So detoxing using Diana Drake's protocols has really just allowed us to help so many of our clients.
And a last question for you too is, when you and your colleagues, you help kind of jumpstart the detoxing of the system for a lot of the people that come in. Now, do you find that their body can also detox even better after taking all these steps to, I guess, for lack of better words, clean out their system? And now they can do it naturally on their own a little bit better?
Right. Yeah. I mean, a question I get a lot is, do I have to continue to do this? This is an investment in your health. And some of these protocols are not, they're not cheap. They're an investment. And having high quality supplements, again, a whole nother conversation, is very important. And having these very high quality organic supplements in your system all the time, taking your supplements 2 to 3 times a day with some of these protocols, that is going to actually heal the system. So in a perfect world, would we all be consuming 10,000 milligrams of antioxidants, vitamin C every single day for the rest of our lives? Absolutely. When you're put on a protocol, sometimes that protocol, when we build it out, it might be like a 90-day protocol and you're going to purchase 90 days worth of supplements. Well, sometimes it can take longer than 90 days for the system to fully heal. So the short answer is yes. Once you get to a place that your body is healed and your body is not in toxic overload mode, then your body can handle things a little better, and with that, what's going to happen? You're going to start sleeping better. You're going to have less fatigue. You're going to have less chronic pain. You're not going to feel like you need to rely on the coffee as much. So healing the system is going to get you to a place that, yes, you don't need to do all of the things so strictly, but I think that's one of the biggest disconnects is our food is supposed to be healing us. Our water is supposed to be healing us. We're supposed to be consuming mineral and nutrient rich water as our most consumed liquid. And we're drinking filtered water all day that doesn't have any nutrients and minerals in it. And some people are supplementing with supplements that might say trace minerals on the front, and you think you're putting healthy minerals in your water, but it's full of this many chemicals and toxins. It is mind-blowing. It is just so discouraging until it kind of clicks and you understand, like, I am very sensitive to eating at restaurants. And often I go to a very nice restaurant and I don't want to change how they make the food. I don't want to say, oh, well, I can't have the hydrogenated oil and I don't eat this and I don't eat that. Then what are you left with? A boring entree, It is safe to just eat like a steak with a potato. That's often safe. You can say, can you just cook me a steak and butter? It's often way easier to be very simple when you're making changes to the menu. But my point is if you are going out all the time and you're like, I don't know why I feel like crap. Well, how often do you eat at a restaurant? Well, I only eat a salad. Okay, well, 90% of salad dressings, the number one ingredient is canola oil. Canola oil is a hydrogenated oil that once it goes into our system, it creates stress on the system. The body does not know what to do with that oil because it's not a whole food like olive oil. It has been processed. It has been put through high temperatures. It has been exposed to gases. It's often slid across a sheet of hot, heavy metals. It's like you're left with this concoction of metal exposed, fiber reduced, hydrogenated mess. So again, people think they're doing the right thing. Well, I only order a salad on a menu. Well, that salad could have fried onion strings that have 30 ingredients and then candied almonds that have 30 ingredients, including 4 different types of processed sugars. And it's like, before you know it, your body is so damaged that it could take 2 years to heal that system.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing this. I mean, and where, again, do we find your, like kind of a roadmap that we can take a look at on Instagram? You said it's...
Yeah. So my Instagram handle is TSW Marissa. That's for Timeless Skin and Wellness Marissa. And we also have a business account. It's Timeless Skin_Wellness. And there's a link on my personal Instagram that you can download that document for free. It is just so much good information. I hope one day to turn it into a book, but for now it is for all of your pleasure.
Well, I can't wait to read it when you have that done later, and I will print that out. I'm going to just carry it. It's just better just carry it around in your purse. So
it's good information for everyone. Even with all the knowledge I have, if somebody handed me something with this much information and, like you said, a roadmap with links to where I can get this, like, oh, my daughter will only eat pita chips. That was one that my client said, my daughter will only eat pita chips. And I'm like, well, let's find a pita chip that doesn't have bleached flour and doesn't have hydrogenated canola oil. And so I found one, I added it to the list. And now if I were going to order pita chips, it would be this one healthy pita chip.
That's great. We don't have to sacrifice the fun and our food desires. We can still have it. And that's exciting. Well, Marissa, thank you again for explaining how detox cleanses can reset the body and elevate energy. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Julie.
Invest in the best version of yourself. Call us today at 303-800-1821 or visit timelessSandW.com to schedule a consultation. Discover what it means to age with intention and elegance.